This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Another great match. I mean, they've had really good matches on the show so far.
So what was the rating on this? That's had to be a 2-star match.
Really? You would give that one 2 stars?
2, maybe a little bit more than 2.
He gave it 2.25.
Yeah.
He gave Gallows and Anderson against Enzo and Cass 2.25. And of course, as you recall, he gave Samoa Joe, Sami Zayn 2.5.
Okay.
Coming up next, we got Cesaro and Jinder Mahal. And Jinder Mahal has been, oh man, look at this commercial.
Yeah.
Off of the WWE Network. What do you think about the rumor and innuendo that they're looking to make some major changes to the WWE Network?
I haven't heard that. Why don't you enlighten me on that?
Well, I think they've realized, hey, we're losing revenue because we don't have WrestleMania cash coming in anymore.
Right.
We need to sell some of these big pay-per-views off. And there was a report that it's going to ESPN Plus. So a lot of the big pay-per-views are going to be on ESPN Plus. Of course, they'll still have other original content. They'll still have, all the old stuff right here on the network. And I think for $9.99, that's a really good deal.
It's a great deal, and I often thought when I found out it was $9.99, you get the pay-per-views with it, I thought, man, that's kind of odd. Pay-per-views have always been like a cash cow, a money stream.
Yeah.
And why are they putting them on the network? So I think it's a good business decision. There'll be some pushback, I'm sure, at first, but I think it's a smart business decision.
Well, I'm glad to hear you like it.
Yeah, I do. I think it's the way to do things. You're always going to piss off somebody.
That's true.
About something, especially in this business, you're going to piss off somebody about something. But you got to keep doing your shit. And you know what I say? Fuck them.
How about Jinder Mahal here?
Man, he looks great, doesn't he?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. One of the nicest guys ever. I had a chance to meet him.
He really is a great guy. Has a great attitude. He got a bad rap from fans because WWE wanted to make a run in India and thought, hey, we'll make him the champion and see if we can't make a big splash. And when that experiment didn't work out, I think a lot of fans, or the company maybe, didn't know exactly what to do with him. But a lot of fans, I don't think, treated him very fairly, because in real life, you couldn't meet a nicer guy, and it's not his fault they're going to push him. It's not his fault they scripted his promos that way. He's doing what's been asked of him, is my point. He's a wrestling fan like me and you,
right?
Except he's dedicated his life to this in a major way, not just when the camera's on, but you don't look like that without putting the hard work in. And there was lots of criticism saying, oh, well, he transformed his body, and that must mean it's just negative bullshit. The reality is none of that's possible you don't look like that unless you have a strict diet. You don't look like that unless you're working out all the time. And I don't know. I treat people how they treat me, and he's always been cool with. And he listens to the show, by the way.
Right. Here's another, what I like to call WHW facts.
Okay.
During the course of our podcast, you give a lot of WHW bullshit.
Yeah.
That's untrue.
Sure.
But this is this WHW fact. Okay. That in the grand scheme of the world, I would say 30% of the people in the world, maybe 20% of the people in the world are bad people, are terrible people. That 20% resides on Twitter.
Okay.
If you're a bad person, you're going to find Twitter. Now, there are good people on Twitter too, but all the bad people in the world are on Twitter.
I don't know if all of them
All of them have found their way to Twitter. And that's...
By the way, Lois is on Twitter.
That's a WHW fact number 1.
Is this the palest we've ever seen Rusev?
I think so. I think from what we're seeing now, it really is.
I'm going to tell you, just based on tans, as we get this match started with Jinder Mahal and Rusev, I'm thinking it's a no-brainer that Jinder's going to win. He's much more tan.
Right. This is the old Starrcade 97 thing. But again, is Jinder one of those guys now who...
Oh, here he comes. Here comes Cesaro. And by the way, I love this entrance. Feels very James Bond. Look at that. Isn't that cool?
Wow, that is fucking cool. It's a wonder James Bond didn't...
sue for that?
Yeah.
But he comes out in the suit, and by the way, Cesaro taught himself to do all of this.
What, to walk and chew
No,
gum at the
hang
same
tight,
time?
motherfucker.
Okay.
Don't be a dick face.
Okay.
This is Sheamus now.
So they just come out during the middle of the match.
No, the match is between Cesaro and Jinder Mahal.
What the fuck is...
Before the match, Rusev and Mahal start fighting.
Okay.
Mahal threw Rusev into the post. Rusev was selling on the floor for most of the match. And,
I'm confused.
oh, look, check out Cesaro now. Watch this. Isn't that cool?
He taught himself to do that?
No, here's what I meant. He created that costume. He
Gotcha.
sewed it together.
Gotcha.
He thought this is a good idea, but I don't need to rely on anybody else. I need to learn how to do it myself.
I like it.
This motherfucker did his own work to make that happen.
I like it.
Not like taught himself how to tear clothes off. Taught himself how to create clothes you could tear off and reuse.
Right, I got that.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
I mean, imagine if Hulk Hogan was back there getting his fucking sewing skills together.
Right.
That's commitment to the deal. Cesaro is one of my low-key, all-time favorite wrestlers. You would have absolutely loved him on the Independents. He used to wrestle as Claudio Castagnoli.
We saw him on NXT. Remember the NXT show that we did?
Yeah, but I'm saying his old gimmick back when he had hair.
Okay.
He's on the Indies 15 years before this.
Okay.
And he would wear all these plaid suits and shit like this, and he would be wrestling's most money-making man. Dude, just really tremendous stuff. And a power lifter, which, you know, in a sea of giants, he is not necessarily a giant, but certainly a power lifter, and going to have tremendous matches. I'm just a big Cesaro fan, and if you're out here scouting for AEW, you should put him on your list. You should send some notes back to TK.
Well,
hey, have you heard about this Cesaro guy?
Listen, I'll guarantee you that TK and Cody and the Bucks and Kenny Omega, they've all heard of everybody.
Oh, no, I was being a smart ass. They wrestled with him a ton.
Okay.
They're very, very familiar with his work.
And, you know, here's another thing. You were talking about the fans shitting on Jinder Mahal and... Unfairly. Is he kind of missing in action with WWE now? Do you see?
No, he's still around. He's got a tremendous Instagram where you feel like you're making poor life decisions as you scroll through the pictures. But no, he's still around and still working for the company. They just haven't been featuring him on TV lately, but I'm sure that will change. You know,
I hope
their roster is bigger than ever right now.
Right.
It's so hard to stand out. You know, even their NXT roster, more than 100 folks down there now.
Well, there's a case of too many.
No, of course. Yeah. You know, and I think that the deal is they want to have everybody under contract because you never know what's going to pop up. But I don't know if they're hiring writers as fast as they're hiring wrestlers. So as a result, they've got lots of new talent, but not necessarily lots of new ideas.
Right.
But Bruce Pritchard's there to save the day, which, as you saw a few weeks ago, they had Shinsuke Nakamura out there with a gong. So things are going as planned. If Bruce ever listens to the show, he will block me forever. Look at this. That was not ideal.
Right.
And Cesaro is a goddamn man and a half and just powered it up.
Yeah, and sold the back too. Good job, fella.
Dude, such a great performer. It looked like they were going to go with him a few years ago. They gave him Paul Heyman as a mouthpiece, and then just as quickly as that happened, it was all gone. Check this out now. From the second rope. Dude, trying to deadlift. Now, okay, they're selling that he can't do it because he's hurting the back, but he's done that move. It was one of his signature moves, is why I got excited there, because I wanted you to see it and thought, hey, Tony's probably never seen that.
And he still may do it later on in this match. We'll see. Well,
Telling a great story here. This is old school shit, man. Isolating a body part, working on it, telling a story. You got to wonder if Arn Anderson was an agent on this one, the way they're just isolating the body part. That's old school Anderson shit.
Right. It is.
By the way, his podcast is going swimmingly well. I hope if you're enjoying me and Tony here on the show, you'll give Arn a shot, ARN. Look for anywhere you enjoy podcasts. It comes out on Tuesday right here on Westwood 1. And you can ask Arn any question you'd like every other week. Follow us on Twitter at The Arn Show. Every other week we do a Q&A, sort of like Jim Cornette does Corny's Drive-Thru every week. He does a Q&A show. We do one every other week with Arn, and we've reviewed a lot of more recent stuff. This March, we've reviewed, or we plan to review WrestleMania 26 and WrestleMania 31. So very recent, current stuff from a more modern era, sort of like we're doing here with you today.
And we appreciate you being with us each and every Wednesday. But don't forget, Mondays we are on Patreon. And very good camera shot. Good work there keeping WrestleMania in the shot. And look at this, trying to deadlift him again.
The Swiss Superman, Cesaro, has been one of the, unsung heroes of WWE for a long, long time. And for whatever reason, sometimes the audience of one in WWE just loses interest or gives up or whatever. But I saw Arn Anderson recently. We were able to catch up and get some podcasts in the can. And we did a review of a show that had John Morrison on it.
Right.
And I said, what do you make of, we haven't really spent a lot of time talking about John Morrison. What is your expectation of John Morrison in his current run now that he's back with the company after a long absence? And he replied, he'll get paid. Which tells you everything you need to know. And Arn Anderson is uniquely qualified as a producer to know what they'll go with and what they want. And you know what? At the end of the day, there are worse things.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Because realistically, and Bruce has said this for a long time on the show, not everybody can be in the main event. You can't be in the main event every single week, every single time. It's just unrealistic. So every now and again, you're there and you're getting paid.
Sure.
And I guess that's like, if you were in a sales job, you're not going to be top producer every month. Some months, you're there and you're getting paid, but you're not top dog.
Look at this.
There he goes.
This is a very good match, Conrad.
Dude, so I don't think Cesaro's capable of having a bad one. Really,
Well, it takes two.
This is and I'm not shitting on Jinder Mahal.
Right,
I'm just saying Cesaro has been known for having tremendous matches. This is a 1.5 stars on this one. It is the lowest rated match on the show so far.
Really?
I do believe that Dave Meltzer maybe at some point had a Jinder Mahal bias where, he thought it was maybe a failed experiment, but I don't know that this has been a bad match by any stretch of the imagination, at least for me.
Right.
In fact, I would say the match was technically fine, but nobody cared about it at all. It was just added to fill time, and the fans treated it exactly like that. Plus, you're doing a distraction finish in 2 of the top 3 matches on the show. Why do you need to do it here as well? So, I think sometimes we overthink shit.
Yeah, he did just now. What about the work rate, Dave? Come on, Jesus.
Yeah, the guys are working hard.
Yes, they are.
And by the way, it's worth mentioning, the finish is fucking not up to them.
Right, exactly.
I know that we sometimes get overcritical and overthink some of the things, but when we're downgrading a match based on the finish, and I understand why that happens, and I'm guilty of this too, we need to appreciate that finish had nothing to do with the work and effort the guys put in, because the finish wasn't determined by them. What a great shot, as you said. These cameramen really do a tremendous job of framing the WrestleMania sign into the shot whenever possible. You want to keep all the focus there. You got to wonder what WWE revenues would have been, by the way, had they not included WrestleMania in the original offering for the network. If they would have said, you know what, we're going to sell WrestleMania and SummerSlam and Royal Rumble separately. But all these smaller pay-per-views, sure, you can get those in there.
Because people approach WrestleMania like they approach a Super Bowl broadcast.
Yeah, it's a party. It becomes a deal where it's, hey, let's get folks over and let's order the pizza and pop the popcorn and all that.
Right. Are we having pizza tonight?
We can if you'd like.
No, I thought you.
We're gonna have a little North Carolina pizza. So I was saying we're going to order some pizza for the low-key Big Hog weekend get-together. But I'm going to cook a pizza on my Big Green Egg.
You are?
And we're going to have him bring his pizza iron.
Whoa.
1, 2, 3. There's your finish.
It's a hell of a move, though.
Yeah, to throw him in the air and then European uppercut him on the way down.
Yeah, I think the fans appreciate that finish.
Absolutely, they do.
Yeah.
HT is nobody's friend, when you're in this business, but it's always fun to look at the self-tanner on guys' hands. Look at Cesaro's hands if you get a chance to see him again. It's all I've noticed the entire time. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.